Why, hello there. Hi, I'm Chef Jay Tay. Happy to see you back. Why, hello there. Welcome in, Muskeg. Hello, Will Poker. Hello, JK4T. Welcome in, Master of Splits 180. That is very odd how we got a sound clip there. Like someone had just followed, but I don't see any follow. Well, if someone followed, thank you for the follow. For everyone else, we're doing Campbell's tomato soup. Ingredient challenge night. I will be doing green chili and onion turkey meatballs braised in tomato soup, among other things. And then I will be serving that with mashed potatoes and broccoli rabe. And then also going to be doing a tomato soup spiced cake, which is an old school classic. I'm not reinventing the wheel here. It's cake made with tomato soup. Let's make some coffee. Looks so much darker on this side because I don't know why it does. I mean, it's got more lights directly in its view. Sort of like the last 20 years of movies. But there's more detail and light in the scene. Yet, to the human eye, movies have gotten nothing but darker. Old man ranting. Hello, Sofluff. Yeah. I was complaining how movies, despite them having more detail and more details in the detail than ever before, are like visually darker than ever. Because half of that data is, we can get this much closer to black. No, you're gonna start making noise and my hands are all soapy. How dare you interrupt my hand washing session? So what's new, folks? What have you done that's been exciting? Ooh. Wait, I want to see what that definition was for wok. Because my understanding, a large oriental round bottom cooking pan. My understanding is that a wok is essentially any cooking pan by definition. I never looked it up, but I've had that repeated to me a couple of times. Ooh, beef stock. We have a stock maker in chat. Hey, chat. You should mark this day in the calendar. I finished a bottle of half and half for coffee before it went bad. Barely. Thrifting is awesome. Antiquing, thrifting. It's not my fault. But thank you for letting me know. Cheers, folks. Thank you for joining me today. See if we defrosted really at all. No. Okay, we're turning a fan on here because I'm sweating like mad. It's 90s again. I think we're going to give this a little time in the microwave. Just to soften it up a bit. Meanwhile, where went my cup measure? Baking soda, baking powder. Then we'll get into the wets. That percentage just keeps going up. Why you hate me, internet company? I have no idea how it works in Canada. I doubt utilities are much better than they are here. I sort of feel like utilities should not have shareholders. That or the public is the shareholders, however you want to work that. I guess we'll go with the eggs next. I've got a ton of eggs in this house right now. I need to restore some egg order to things here. I don't know how we got to this point where I have all this stuff where I keep my eggs regularly, but here we are. Hold on to this for me. Difference in egg color between the two varieties. The yolk color difference. One's so bright yellow and the other one's much darker, richer. Hi, Quinn. That's, there's two things that largely influence that. One is the actual breed of the chicken, and the other one is their feed. Like, there's some places that feed their chickens straight peppers, so they get, like, almost red yolks. So we'll go ahead and mix these together before I get into the soup. This is just butter and eggs for anyone just joining in. So far. Now we're going to add tomato soup. Where's my mini ladle? We need baby ladle for this project. Baby spat. It's not a ladle. I don't know why I was calling it a ladle. We'll give this a mix up together. There's also a chocolate version of this cake if you want to add cocoa into it. It's the tomato is going to largely disappear in there despite it being almost reddish in color. If you're doing a, what is it, the really red cake that's with the white, like, you're halfway there with this. All you really need to do is add a little more food dye. It'd probably be a better tasting cake if you used Campbell's instead of just straight red food dye. Was it red velvet? I'm so horrible with names. I'm just making sure and rinsing this whisk pretty good and make sure that flour and dough doesn't stick on there like cement as it dries. Oh hey, let's turn the oven on. At least get it preheating. We're not done with adding things to this cake, by the way. So you got some dairy in there. Add some 5 spice. Vanilla. Who thinks this would be a good cake at this point? Should I just throw this in the oven at this point? Who's been paying attention? I don't know, I sort of want a little sugar in my cake. Sorta. I mean, it's the some of the spices are origin in China. Doesn't have to be, though. It's one of those things that used to heavily have Chinese in front of it, and now more often you just have it be 5 spice. It's got more heat to it than you would normally think of for most baked goods. It's got some black pepper in there. It's got some Szechuan peppercorn in there to give you that sort of electric effect. Alright, now we get to mix this all up together nicely. Let's see if we can't bring that whisk back into the party. It's still got some bubblage, but it's a lot better. Had to go digging for that one. Ad's still going. Yep. Coffee break time. I didn't even check what the temp is for this. I'm straight up following Campbell's recipe for this, by the way. Well, not straight up following because... yeah, I'm not straight up following it. And also, I forgot some things that I was going to add into this. Starting with some Thompson red seedless grapes or raisins. And some walnuts on top. Walnuts mostly because I have them to use. Raisins I bought for this project and for another that may or not be on stream. Alright, we'll set this over in the oven to chill for the moment. Sort of a odd statement. Not many things chill on the oven. And we'll get into doing dinner. I guess we'll start with taters because they're right here in front of my face. That's an ugly tater. Ugly spud. How did I miss that when I was picking these out by hand? Oh well. I need to move this pan. I put it over there just to dry, which is not the best place. Let's just have them. Make sure it wasn't anything worse. Cold water with our potatoes. That wasn't all the way through. Hi, Alex. Welcome, welcome. Happy Wednesday to you and to you all. We got a couple of streakers here. My chat's big into streaking. How am I cooking my cake? This is probably wrong because I'm using a different container than they suggested. I'm going to give it to them though. We'll see how this looks after 35 minutes. Well, do I want any of these for that? We'll throw one in there. We'll throw one in with the meatballs. And rinse out my cake bowl and use that to make my meatballs next. Oh, there we go. Oh, I thought these had easy pull tab lid. They don't. You gotta break out the can opener and everything. I got a small can of green chilies. We'll add those in there. I guess there's a couple of red chilies in there too. Got to warm up the can. I picked up some cans today specifically for Monday. We have a returning mystery meat. We have an all-new veg that I don't think I've used before. Let's see. What else did I get here? We have a new fruit option that I honestly have no clue what I'm going to do with. Like, it's half designed to be ate just as is. Alright, we're going to set this aside for a moment and do up some sweet onion action here. I'm going to take an onion in half, grate it, and then the other half is going to go into the braising. We'll call it liquid stew. Why you no peel, onion? Why you want to be difficult, sweet onion? This is getting a bit ridiculous. Onion peeling ASMR. I have no idea what the bot set my tags to tonight. I don't know if there's ASMR tags or what's going on. Oh yeah, by the way, SprinkleBot sets all my tags, sets all my... like... tags on Twitch are more meme used than functional anyways. Like, VTubers started trending here on Twitch and everyone started putting VTuber in their tags, whether they have anything to do with VTubing or not. Most excruciating onion peel in Twitch history. It refuses to come off in large parts. I'm sorry, VTubers to me make sense in some role-playing scenarios. Like, there's a very interesting dynamic with roleplay streaming that I actually think is not being respected well by the professional performance arts. Like, I seriously don't know why someone hasn't started like a serious theater, like small scale theater set up to do nothing but straight RP. Like, you have servers that out there, GTA or Red Dead or half dozen other games, where people are, Minecraft even, where they're massively editing games to have these roleplay scenarios. Like, it's like animated Broadway. Like, why aren't they jumping on this? Yeah, I don't see it being used in a professional sense. No. Like, the Will pokes up at exactly the right point. I don't see the use of a VTuber in court case. I'm sure it's been done, whether on purpose or not. I'm pretty sure I've seen it done on accident, at least reportedly on accident. So this part's going to go into the actual braising liquid. We need some Worcestershire and mustard. Worcestershire. Salt. Pepper. Am I out of pepper again? It feels like those grinders out of pepper. Or close to it. I got the sugar out to refill it, and I didn't refill it. And I'm not going to refill it now that I put half of it back. What was I going over here for? Garlic. Paprika. Cayenne. Cumin. I went with the 7% fat for the ground turkey. I'm just going to get in there, get my hands dirty. Mix that all up together. Yeah, I'm getting some packet loss here and there. I'm not sure what's going on, but little breadcrumb. Regardless of network, though, I will say that the stream is always a better video quality on YouTube than it is on Twitch, and that is Twitch's fault, not mine, because I am giving them the same data. Don't get after me, I'm giving you the same data. Twitch just downscales it and butchers it. Just that little bit of breadcrumbs, soak up that little bit of extra moisture and bind it all a little bit. We got some beautiful looking meatball force meat. Let's move this. Is this even still warm? It's mildly warm. I made some simple syrup for hummingbird feeder. Can you even see that thing from here? I can't tell in this scene. Let's look in the... And the reflection makes it hard to see. But it's there. Is it? Actually, I don't see it there. There's a bright red hummingbird feeder, like, about a foot from that window. I am astonished at the angle. I don't know if the center divider is blocking it somehow from the camera video, or... I don't know. Like, bright red. The whole thing is red. Can't miss it. Sorry, debating if that's even enough onion for this, but don't really want to cut up another onion. I think we're going to live with that. You're supposed to sizzle. Why no sizzle? There's oil in that pan. It's hot. Oh, there it is. I was a little premature. We're gonna touch more oil in there, though. So, tomato soup going in. Using chicken stock to rinse out the tomato can. I think we can do that again. It wasn't hugely effective. Still didn't do good as much as that little bit of water. Alright, so we have the beginnings of our braising liquid for our green chili and onion turkey meatballs. Now the question is, from here, where do we take this dish? Do we go sort of Korean, add some like gochujang in there? Do we... I don't really have soy in the house, so I'm not going to suggest doing like soy and citrus. I do have the citrus though. I think I'm going to do ginger. If I can find my ginger. Ginger. Cayenne. Cumin. And I would do mustard powder, but I don't have mustard powder. I haven't had mustard powder for actually probably a couple years now. We'll do a little regular mustard in there. That was ginger. Fair amount of ginger in there. Just a little bit of cumin. About the same amount of cayenne. And we're going to start scooping meatballs. Ooh. Just a quick sort of roll to get them ball-like, not scoop-like. They seem to bounce off of each other enough. I'm not going to worry about it. Don't really want them connected, but you want to keep them separated. I was watching a streamer earlier today that actually went to say that, realized what they were saying, and then purposely said it differently so that it didn't sound like they were repeating the song. At least that was the impression I got from the way they said it. Like they started to say it and then just like paused and changed it. Running out of room. Last one. It's not even really a full one here. Hi, chat. Sorry, I haven't been able to read you here for a moment. I don't have a version of the chat in front of me when I'm... Hi, American Sniper Angel. Welcome in. American Sniper Angel? Type ! Sprinkles. You need about 600 more. You get the 5,000, and there is the theme night channel point redemption, which you can read the description of that, but it only costs one dough ball, but it costs 5,000 sprinkles. And you get the theme of night. Or you can ask someone nicely to give you an extra 600 some sprinkles. I don't care to do math. 500 some, 600 some. Numbers. Yep. It's one of the two main things that you can spend sprinkles on. Because the other one is giveaways, and I haven't done a giveaway in quite a while, unfortunately. I should have done one for 1,750 followers, and I guess I'm just going to do a little bit bigger of an ordeal for 2,000 followers. Does the music stop? Oh no, I'm just not hearing things. Earbuds acting up. Before I stopped there, it was going in and out in volume. Gently trying to give these a little bit of a move around, just so they're not stuck in one place. I'm going to turn the heat down on that. Let that reduce. I'm also going to turn the flame on to our potatoes. And our cake timer is just about done here. Let's see what the cake looks like. See if the cake's ready to come out or not. That looks like a cake. Nope. Dropping the temp down to 300. Giving it another 10 minutes. It was still it hadn't set. Like, it was starting to look quite beautiful. Sorry, Skeleton. You get sprinkles through active viewing. Answering the scramble. Talking in Discord. Reacting in Discord. Like, if you want sprinkles, the way to really get sprinkles, like, you can get them pretty well chatting in YouTube chat, but the real way to get sprinkles is be very chatty in Discord. I can respect that, especially since they've gone public. They're likely on their downward trend. What do I got that I can put this on? I don't want to waste a whole piece of parchment for this. I guess I'm wasting a piece of parchment for this. Though if you can find anyone that would like to, donate towards your cause, the command !give sprinkles, as all is one word, does work. !give sprinkles, username, and you can use the @ symbol to do it easy, and how many sprinkles you want to give them. So if any of you would like to collude, Actually, we're going to turn this 180 degrees. Other way around. Name, then number. There you go. That was nice to get muskeg. Ugh. Let me see if I can quick change that. That is because there's only supposed to be one of those redemptions a night. Let's see here. Manage rewards. Theme night. Edit. Give that one more shot, Skeleton. Nice. Deconstructed soup and sandwich. Okay. Let's see here on the calendar. Where do we got that we can put this? Monday or Friday better for you, Skeleton? We have either the 22nd, the 26th, the 29th, or the 3rd readily available. 22nd? That would be not this Monday, but the Monday after. This coming Monday I'm doing Can It Be Delicious? How do I spell it? Spell your name? 1 L. Still not sure if that's how you spell your name. Close enough. Okay, it's officially in the calendar. And that means probably within the hour the bot should pick it up from the calendar, and it should be in Twitch events, in Discord events. Alright, meatballs are looking delicious. They looking yummy. Our second chance at this cake is just about to come out. Definitely coming out this time. Oh yeah. Now we're set. Now we're set. I guess we could have done plate. Okay. I think that turned out looking pretty good. It's a nice looking little cake. And while there is a little red in that color, it's not overly red. Like, in most descriptions I've read of this cake, and I've tried it before myself, unless someone told you there was tomato in there, you probably wouldn't peg it. Like, you might not notice it's not exactly the same as a typical cake, but I doubt many people would peg the tomato without it being told to them. It adds a nice little light savoriness to it, but otherwise it's pretty much just a cake. Ooh, taters are close to bubbling. Well, they are bubbling. Just not very fast. We'll give you a spin. We'll give you a spin. Ah, ads. No. Top of the hour. I have not touched any green onions yet today, bot. Otherwise, not a bad summary there. Your uncle used to make tomato soup cake when you were a kid. By the way, I made this cake the hard way. Like, I followed the actual, like, Campbell's recipe. And Campbell's is not really, like, working with any other brands as far as the cake right now, apparently. But, like, I have seen this recipe several times before being, like, can of soup, can of spiced cake mix. Now, the recipe here on Campbell's recipe is using a straight up cream cheese frosting. I don't know if I'm really going to go there with frosting with this. I might just leave this as... You could do a glaze with it. You could do... I added the raisins and the walnuts, which also aren't in the original recipe. I think I'm just going to leave it as is. It's sort of like a breakfast cake for me. But I could very easily... Yeah. Oven off. Make sure the oven's off. I think we're going to switch sides here on the stove. We're going to take our meatballs and let them chill over here. And over here, we're going to heat up a pan with some oil. Arg. I just realized that I did just totally waste that. Parchment. Because I need at least the majority of that butter for taters. Barolo. Oh, that reminds me, I need to get back on doing Idaho for this week. Not that Barolo has anything really to do with Idaho, but... Is it Baroque? They have some sort of region with strong sort of French food influence. Heating up half and half and butter for our potatoes. Let's give this sauce a try with these meatballs, see if this needs any doctoring up here at all. Surprising amount of heat with that. I think we're good with that. I'm happy with that. Those meatballs can be tasty. Even without the flavor in the meatballs themselves. So, trying to arrange them. Like, you can never really get these perfectly in the pan. They're gonna fight you the whole way. But I am trying to make it so that the florets and the more delicate parts are more leaning on other parts of stems, so they're getting less direct pan heat. They're more getting steamed. Now the question is, do I try and turn this cake over onto a plate for a photo, or do I leave it in the pan? If I turn it over, I don't get the walnuts on top, but I do get the pattern of the pan. I'm not saying numbers. Splash of water. Splash of lemon juice. Garlic. what pepper's left in here. MSG. Heat off on the flame on broccoli, and then back over onto the stems, and we're focused on taters. Butter and half, salt, other salt, okay, I'm just cheating. That thing's basically out of pepper. White pepper. Hey, Mimic. And mashing time. Alright, let's do some Play-Doh. We'll use you. cheese, cookies, and wine. There we go, folks. We got mash with meatballs and broccolini. Month on Saturday. I hope you have a good trip. Hopefully it's a wonderful vacation. Go see some cool stuff. Meet some cool people. Eat some awesome things. And after you get back, share it all with us. Let us all know. Oh, I'd love to see him. That's. I wish I saw more of you guys' photos. I don't know. I feel like I have problems. Like relating or, you know, telling people that I do enjoy it. But I do enjoy seeing all of your photos. That's why I started a contest for it. I want to see more of them. I see people sharing their stuff in other Discords and I get jealous. Why aren't they sharing in my Discord? Let's see what we can do with this. Let's take a photo or two with this first, but let's see what this cake looks like after I take it out of the pan here. I want to slice the cake and see how red it is in the center on chat and stream. On stream. Oh, hey. My ingredient challenge night's about to start. Calendar is warning me. Well, there's your answer. All at once. Maybe that's why they frost the cake. But you can see, that just looks sort of like a spiced cake. There's a little bit of redness to it, but it is not a red cake. Spice cake. Tastes delicious. I've already tried the sauce going with the meatball, so I know everything in that bowl is delicious. Oh wait, I didn't show everyone. We didn't see the whole cake, did we? Let's give everyone the whole, like... This is, like, beautifully colored. It's got a beautiful dark color to the outside of that. If it hadn't stuck to my pan, I did sort of force it out. Like, if I wasn't so brute force with it. And if I had frosting, it wouldn't matter anyways. Just pat it. You know, just spackle that thing right back on there. Close-up photos of the food. Alright, let's see here. What we got going on Twitch tonight? Alright, folks, I think I'm going to leave it right there. I'm going to go eat this deliciousness. I shall be back here on Friday. Friday, I'm going to be doing cauliflower nachos. I got the cauliflower. We're going to be doing cauliflower with chicken. I'm going to be making a nacho cheese sauce. We'll have guac. I'm going to do pickled onions. We'll have pickled jalapenos. It'll be a good night. It'll at least look pretty. Sunday, we're doing Idaho. I don't have plans in the calendar, I don't think, for Idaho yet. But we're doing food for representing Idaho on Sunday. And then Monday, we have Can It Be Delicious, where I make dinner from cans that chat votes for. I hope you can come back for all of that. I've greatly appreciated your company tonight. I know I sort of dropped off on being a little chatty towards the end. Me being bad streamer. I wish you all a wonderful finish to your week. Good night.